right, metalheads, this is the biggest interview of the Simmo and Kyle show ever. This week, we got to talk to Frankenbok. Yeah, we did. We got to talk to Azza. We got to talk to Hutch. Kyle had some mad questions. I threw back a few grindcore metal band names with the boys. We got to see the Frankenbok jam space. And
biggest metal band ever.
That's right. And I've seen him at every venue in the Hunter since I was a teenager. So let's...
Ammo, name it.
That's it. So let's get into the Frankenbok interview with Hutch and Azza. We got to just have a mad chat. What started it as an interview definitely just turned into a mad chat between four mates. So... and we also, I even found out that the boys had checked out some of my Jackal Crow stuff. I was very surprised about that. And Azza himself has personally made sure I'm going to Thrashville 2025. So we're definitely going to be doing a Simmo Metal gig vlog for that one.
And Hutch drops something special.
Yep, we have. That's right. We've got a special drop. He drops particularly on this channel. So it is announced right here on Simmo Metal. He did. So if you check it out, you'll see all about it. So, as we always say, stay metal, metalheads, and rock on. Wow!
It shows when you play at the junkyard years ago.
Yeah, you
Oh, the good old junkyard shows.
Junkyard, the bunker parties, whatnot. Yes.
the bunker parties.
Yeah, they were epic.
The bunker parties.
I only went to one. And fuck, well, what a mess.
Hey, literally playing in a house, in a lounge room on a suburban street.
They were hectic.
That was the most drunken gig we've ever done, man. There was one stage where we were playing, half of us were playing one song, the other half of us were playing a different song. And I looked over and the fucking singer's holding the fucking snare drum. Who did we play with? We played...
I remember that night. So there was a band called War Faction.
Yeah.
War Faction.
Good old War Faction. I think they were the ones who used to host the parties.
They were, man. Yep, definitely were.
And there was a few other great bands that night too.
There was one band and they were so fucking drunk, man. They put guitar over his singing and he had no idea how to play, man. I was like, this is hilarious. It was a mess, but it was good.
Yeah, good times, man. That's it, eh? Like I've got to quickly say that's the thing with the relationship with Frankenbok now 20 years on is I grew up with this stuff. You guys were the first live metal band I ever seen live, including you, Hutch, because that was the show where you opened for Machine Head and Slayer at the Horden Pavilion. I was 15, man. That was the first metal band I ever seen step on a stage. And then later that night, like I got Slayerized, you know, and all the rest was history. But I'll never forget this wild band came out called Frankenbok, and it ripped my face off. And I was at the time following you guys in things like Outsider Mag and things like the Route 666 Volume 2 compilation. So yous were always in my face, but at that moment, that's when I got to see my first ever metal band live, and that was Frankenbok.
Yeah. Well, that's good that we could be your first. Pop that metal cherry.
Yeah, man. That's what yous did. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Deprivation was the other band that played at the bunker party.
Deprivation. I remember Deprivation.
That's the one.
Yes. See, because we've been in this town our whole lives. I'm 38 and I've lived in Rutherford for 37 years. So, yeah.
Got beat by Rutherford in the grand final when I played for the Curry Bulldogs.
Oh, bro.
Nice.
I think when I was walking off the field, I think I had to hide the fact I think I was crying.
Even Kyle here is a bit of a curry man himself. He's from out Abermain.
Don't say that. Don't say curry, man. No way.
Pain?
Not curry. Definitely not curry. Go Cessnock. Go Cessnock.
No.
Curry's got the two heads, so it's Definitely.
Yep. We're actually playing with Deprivation again soon. Next year.
Really?
Yeah, in
Hell yeah.
June 14, Blood Sacrifice Festival.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so boys, I'll start with a few questions. I'll even get Kyle to ask this one, but let me bring him back over. Are you seeing us loud and clear, guys? And hearing
yeah, man.
us?
Yep.
Sweet,
That's
sweet.
good.
So, hit him with the main question you wanted to ask, Kyle.
So where'd the name Frankenbok? Like, how did you get that name? Like, who came
Oh.
up with it? Who came up with it and everything, or was it a band decision? Or
I'll try. I was living over in Florida for a couple of years, and I was hanging out with a couple of different dudes from a band called Monstrosity, another band called Rape Ape, and I was lucky enough to be full death metal scene where the likes of Morbid Angel and Cannibal Corpse creeped around.
Hell yeah,
And-
man. So you got to play with some Florida guys.
Cannibal Corpse.
projects shit over there, and as I said, side projects, and I couldn't actually sort of get anything sort of serious going. So I started writing my own stuff, inspired by these dudes that used to get together and do stuff with the drum machine and all that. And you still there? Because it's gone funky again.
Oh, hold on.
I'm here by sound if you can hear me, but
Anyway, that's all right. Anyway, guy from Tennessee was asking me about Australia, and he said, we've only really seen the Crocodile Hunter and shit, so what do people really like there, and what do you talk about? And I said, people say things like bloody oath and fair dinkum. Fair dinkum was a word that I told him, and he very much liked fair dinkum. He said, what does it mean? I told him it means you're for real, you're for sure, you're not mucking around. So I didn't see him for maybe 2 weeks or so. And when he came back and he says to me, hey, there, Aussie, Frankenbok. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about, man? He's like, that Aussie word, Frankenbok.
sick.
Oh, he thinks that he's saying fair dinkum. So over a couple of, just in his head, it slowly translated to Frankenbok, and we laughed our heads off, and it became sort of like the in joke. And when I had this little sort of demo that I was doing, everything was Frankenbok on this and Frankenbok on that. It's just a made up word. So I put that as the name of the band just for a joke. And I don't know how many years later, here we are.
That's amazing.
That is
I love that. I absolutely love that. And that even calls back to things like you guys have Fair Dinkum for a while there, which was your label.
Yeah, there was Fair Dinkum Records, which, just sort of,
so that's a call back to Fair Dinkum as well.
I think even when we first started playing, when sort of me and Adam sort of got together, and when it was time to start doing our first gigs, and we're like, so, all right, serious, what are we going to call this band? And let's just go to Frankenbok now until we think of something sensible later. And
I liked the name Frankenbok when we first heard it, but it was spelt differently. There was BOCK, and then we dropped the C.
Oh, yeah.
And, name, I thought we were going to keep it. And
I always dropped the C bomb.
Nice.
Oh, and at the time, I think one of the things that was good about it was we're like, there's not likely that anybody else is going to have that name because
No, definitely.
And then we found out there's plenty of things called Frankenbok. We found there's a German beer Frankenbok. There's a German fighter plane called the Frankenbok.
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought it must have had something to do with sort of horror because of
like Frankenstein or something.
That's exactly how I thought.
No, we just
name or something like that.
I love it.
That's the short and curly.
No, that's a sick story. I like that. It's cool.
There you go.
Hand it back over to Simmo for the next question.
So I want to hit you up, Hutch. I've noticed something lately, and it's my favorite thing on social media is getting my Hutch announcements. So have you officially become the social media face of Frankenbok?
Yes, I think Aaron should do it. I think he's a lot more charismatic than I am. But yeah, pretty much. Stepping back into the band, there's some big shoes to fill from Dan because he did a lot of everything. He did all the recording and I guess social media and the website stuff. So I've sort of taken on some of that or a lot of that, and yeah, and it's obviously it's been so many years since I've been in a band and coming back to it and seeing how it's all done now. It's a little different and it's interesting. So I'm just trying to get back into that. And yeah, I hate it. I hate posting videos and stuff. I don't want to look at my face.
I
But,
love it, man. I want you to know you're one of my favorite things that pops up in my feed, along with Matty Young letting me know what's going on with Parrot. But yeah, you're one of my favorite things, bro. If I haven't got my Hutch announcements, then it's not a good day.
oh, thanks, man. Cheers.
Yeah.
And the Hutch, the rest ain't much.
So yeah, what I've found is I sent you this call list and everything, and now like a call sheet, and now we're just having a mad chat. Let's just let it be that, I suppose. Hey, like, from a fan to the band, you know what I mean? So
Definitely.
not to mention all of the times we've got to have a few hangouts. So for me, some of the main hangouts I remember is definitely the junkyard gigs, the Grand Junction down the back of Maitland there.
They were sick.
Definitely the bunker yard, the bunker parties, and also even some gigs at the Hemo and stuff. So, but always the first show I ever seen yous at was opening for Machine Head and Slayer. So what an intro.
Yeah, that was it's a pretty big moment, in my life. That Slayer were, I grew up with a lot of punk rock and all that sort of thing, and then Slayer came along, and then like most people, you don't sort of get into Slayer for years.
I'm a
For about
Slayer guy through and through too, Azza, forever. Like literally every album, man.
Go Slayer.
Yeah, motorbike. I got a Slayer. I had the Slayer Iron Eagle on one side, and I had the Green Demon on the other side, and it just that if it wasn't Slayer, it was shit as far as I was concerned for a while there. And so to get to
Nice.
support and
Yes.
a dream, and it's still top of the mountain stuff for me. Like just to know that I actually got to do that. It's
Yeah, man.
So
That's
lucky, man.
it.
you could have say that's your that's your band's biggest accomplishment or yourself as a muso opening for Slayer.
Accomplishment is still being a band.
Yeah,
really?
right. Yep.
Yeah, dude. I agree, man. And yous are here for the long haul.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we're like that rash, and you put all that cream on it. You think, I think it's going away, and then down you go, fuck.
That rash.
back.
We're a piece of heavy metal.
Yeah, nice.
Like rust. We never sleep.
Definitely. Hutch, why did you leave the band to start with?
I don't know if that's really a wound we need to reopen, but personally, it was a time in my life where I just felt like everything just wasn't working out. Things weren't aligning up. Felt like I was coming to band practice and not being happy. Wasn't happy at work. Wasn't happy in my relationship, and I think it all just came to a boiling point.
Yep.
Wasn't really, sort of liking where the music was going. I felt like we were just kind of drifting apart, and so I felt the best thing to do. I mean, the only regret I have about leaving was I wish I'd done it more as a gentleman, been a bit more, nicer about it and stuff. But I think it all just got up. That's one thing we've learned now since being back in the band is that we do talk about things a lot more. There's better communication, and it's just one of those things. We were young too. We didn't know how to express what we're going through and stuff. And yeah, it's a lot of work being in a band. I'm not saying it's the hardest thing some people doing. Like people go out and they fucking lay concrete and do some really backbreaking stuff. I get
like being married to 3 or 4 people.
I just, at the end of the day, I just wasn't happy with where it was going and stuff. And we felt like this is not really maybe not what I'm meant to be doing. So, and obviously I felt like the band was going in one direction. I was going in the other. But, Adam B. Metal came in and he did a great job. And There's been a whole bunch of different lineups and stuff, but I really liked it. I'm stoked to be back. It's great to have that time apart. I think I've come to appreciate Frankenbok for much more for what it is, and vice versa with those guys and me. And now it's awesome. We wrote some really cool tunes and get along all really well. And
I feel
As
you,
Hutch,
Hutch.
you just add, we were kids, man. Like, you
Yeah.
know, well, you fall out over fucking, I don't know, like yo-yo. You know, like, you just didn't know how to handle things, or, you know, you get shitty about all sorts of things. And, you know, it's not until you sort of grow up that you learn how to fucking communicate with people and, you know.
I feel ya. I feel
Yeah,
ya. Even
completely.
me now, I'm
Completely.
just starting to jam with some of my old band members again, and that's the exact outlook that we've come back to it with. We're like, oh well, we're all grown up now, aren't we? So let's look at this a bit differently. Like, it's awesome, and I love to see the unity in Frankenbok. One thing that is very apparent in that is this brand new beast of an EP. So tell us about that.
Thanks, man. When you started about unity, we were just talking before, and I got a million mates and a lot of friends, but these guys in my band, these apart from myself, these three guys that are in the band are probably my closest friends, and they're people that I would trust with my life. You know, they're some of the best individuals I know, and I feel incredibly lucky to be playing music, which is something I love, with people that I love, that I wholeheartedly trust. They're guys that I know that will never let you down on purpose and will never backdoor you or anything like that. You know, it's feel incredibly privileged to be playing and making art with some of my best friends in the world, which is fucking tops.
That is tops, man. That's totally tops. Oi, I've just got someone at my door for 2 seconds. I'll be back with you in a sec, boys. But hold that thought. How tops it is that you are in a band with the three people you trust most in the world. Oh, actually, all good. The wife got it. The wife got it. Nah, I love that, Azza. Exactly. And you guys, for the fans, I think that's the same feeling back. Is like we actually trust this band as the main band in our world of Australian metal. Like for me, I'm not knocking the guys from Parkway, but I hear like some of the younger generation ring off Parkway as Australia's biggest metal act, and I always tell them, nah, man, it's Frankenbok. Frankenbok is Australia's
Been around
biggest
for years.
metal band.
According to us, fuck yeah.
It is.
Yeah. And as we said before, biggest accomplishment is keeping the band together. There's been times when it hasn't been very fun, and there's been times when it's like this and like that. But what is going on these days is like we are having a lot of fun because of the friendship type thing. You know, it doesn't matter what you're achieving or how big you are or how many records you're selling. Like, you know, you're gonna spend a lot of time with people. If you're not getting along with those people, like, doesn't matter how you become if you don't like the fucking person in the room. Whereas any one of these guys, if I have to fucking sit next to them for 12 hours, you know, or top and tail in a bed or whatever the fuck, I'm like sick, you know, because they're all fucking friends, man. And talk about album sales, we don't make a cent. So what we do get paid out of is fun, and I'm having a lot of fun now. I'm having probably more fun than I've ever had, and that's what keeps me doing it, man. Because if it wasn't fun, I would walk. You know, it's too hard to not be enjoying yourself.
Go answer your door.
I feel you.
No, his wife answered the door.
Oh, big
Oh,
brother.
no, we got it now, Hutch. So what happened was the wife came to the door. Guess what it was? I'll quickly tell you. We'll even leave this in the video, right? So you guys, I've got like the best interview of my entire YouTube career, right? And I've got the house inspection at the door, like, hello, we're the real estate. We're here to inspect your house and make sure things are tidy. And I'm like, guys, fuck off. Yeah, go away. I am very busy right now. But no, the wife got it. But funnily enough, you guys are talking to me, and I'm lasered on Azza, and the lady's at the door, and I'm just ignoring her blatantly. She could see me. She could see me ignoring her.
She couldn't see you, but she could see me. She's looking dead at me.
Yeah, she was looking dead at Kyle. Like, oh, well,
House inspection that your house looks awesome.
oh, it
So-
does now, man. Yeah, it's the studio. It's the Simmo Metal den.
It kind of looks like we're looking at the same place. If you're like,
Yeah, I
It
feel
does
like
a
you're
bit.
on the other side of my room because see where this is wooden at the back?
It's all brick.
I'm literally looking at a brick wall right now. So then I look into the dude.
Oh, it's like looking into a mirror.
It is. It's like this is
Seriously.
the other end of the
Oh.
house.
this is where we rehearse and everything, man.
Oh, bro,
It's so
I've got to
similar.
come there and have a beer with you one day. I do. I just want to
Oh,
come
check
and
the
just
bike.
watch a rehearsal.
Fair
Hell yeah. This is where it all happens. This is the real shit right now.
So-
I've got that exact same Slayer flag, the Divine Intervention one. That same flag is hanging in the background right here. You can see it.
So that's where the magic happens.
Oh, bro, I love the shark head. This is sick. Oh, and then you got the computer screen up on the
The
top.
bikes.
The bikes. Oh my god. We're getting a full. Oh, this is like MTV Cribs
Unicorn
right now.
head.
I have seen that unicorn head pop up in a few promo shots.
Yeah, it's all there. The old school stuff there.
Oh, bro, even some
Nice.
Blood Oath promotion. Wow.
There
Oh
you
my
go.
god.
There.
This is rad. Oh, mate. Thank
That's what I
you so much for showing us that, boys.
That is awesome.
was like, fuck, it looks like orange.
It does.
Yeah, and then I've got the other end of the house. See, it's
That's when I saw that light. Like, fuck yeah, that looks like something that would be in my place.
Yeah,
Your
man.
light behind there.
I love it. I just got the Frankenbok jam room tour. One day I'm going to be in that jam room having a beer with yous. I am.
Awesome.
I'm
Awesome,
going to
dude.
come and watch a Frankenbok rehearsal. We'll put it on the channel and everything.
Yeah.
You were asking about the EP, man. I said to Hutch just before this started, I said, I'm not bullshitting you, man. As I've said many a times, Irrepressible is my favorite Frankenbok record because when I listen back to it, I don't get tired of it. I enjoy it every time, and we had fun doing it. And I think that translates. You can hear that we're enjoying ourselves.
You can even see it on the front cover of the EP itself. Like, yeah, it so translates. Oh, sorry, Hutch, I didn't catch that.
It was just a really great recording experience because for myself, originally, I don't know if people know, but this EP was meant to be like a split EP. I was meant to be sort of guest vocals on it. This was going to be me and Dan doing dual vocals.
Oh,
And,
I did not know that.
yeah, and then basically, yeah, because after the 25th anniversary show, it went really well, and Dan seemed all excited to get me back and do some guest vocals. I did some guest spots with the band and stuff, and then all of a sudden, he just went a bit quiet. I don't know why, but yeah, and it all just sort of led to what's happened now with me coming back. But yeah, like it was great to have the recordings done and sounding as good as they were. Like I had some really good material to write to, and then I sort of did all the vocals at home as well. So there wasn't that pressure of going into the studio and time is money, and I could sort of take my time and get it to the best that I could with my setup and whatnot. And also, yeah, you sort of got time to play around with things and experiment. And I sort of it was the first recording I ever did where I sort of wrote with effects on my voice, so that I could sort of
Oh, okay, yeah.
treat it as a progression as you're going through the song. And yeah, I think it really helped with the songwriting and stuff. I mean, I don't know what people think, but it's definitely my favorite Frankenbok thing I did. So yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So one thing I will say, what for me, just as a fan, this is a fan perspective, and all respect to all the other singers, but for me, it was the Hutch return. It was like, this is the return of Hutch. I'm getting greetings and salutations feelings, those same old vibes, but with a newer, more slamming sheen on it. And for me, that's what it was, yeah.
I was talking to someone else I did a podcast with, and to me, because I didn't listen to Frankenbok for a long time after I left, but going back and hearing all the material again, it's like Doctor Who. It's just all these different members and characters that have come along, and the sound has kind of been like a silver pinball machine. It's kind of banging back and forth and going in all these different directions. I think essentially you can sort of hear that Aaron is the core of where the ideas come from. But yeah, it's been really, really interesting. And I think for me, when Aaron and our friendship reconnected, I got to hear Overdose before it came out, and that's what got me back into Frankenbok. I actually was like, wow, this is all us. And I sort of joked about it and saying, if you'd written songs like this after Beatles, I really liked what they did, and Dan Crow was great, and really good songs. That's what got me excited about the band. I was like, well, cool, I'm friends with Aaron again and the guys, and I was coming along to gigs and whatnot. But it's just a shame that obviously Dan, he's got other things he wants to do now with his time, and he wasn't able to commit to the band anymore. And Aaron asked if I wanted to come back. I was like, yeah, cool, because I really like what they're doing now. And Owen and Tommy are just fucking awesome dudes and great musicians as well. And yeah, there's just so much potential to do a bunch of different diverse stuff.
So to me, that calls for in the future we're going to see more. The EP's just a preview to what's to come.
Think, man, we're a couple of songs deep, writing the new shit, having a ball. Yeah, I don't know if maybe we'll get to do something new at Thrashville. I hope so. At least might have a few surprises. I actually wrote a song that was called Beach Town. Now I think it's called Carnauba Wax. I don't know. The song's got a lot of working titles, but I stayed at Nelson's Bay for 7 days, and it's a place that I grew up with, and that.
I love that place too. I go there for holidays with my families a lot too. So a lot of summer memories up there. Yeah.
Boy, man, that's where I learned to snorkel. That's where I learned fucking everything. That's where I learned to do the drawback. That's where I learned to do. I took my family there and spent like 7 days there, and I was, Melbourne's a bit of Melbourne's Melbourne. But I was just so taken back how genuine the people were and how pleasant it was and how helpful everybody was and how nice they were. And so I thought, you know what, it'd be fun to write a really extreme, heavy as all fuck song about how nice people are. And so anyway, that's all. Yeah. So
it's been really good. We'll be sitting around getting stoned and talking about a bunch of different shit. And it's like, well, that's an idea for a song, and then we just kind of jump on it. It's become very spontaneous and impulsive now. Yeah, and that's how for Spin Me Around came about, and just basically there's an idea someone has, and it's like, okay, let's do it. Let's try it out.
Yeah. So would you say as you'd be the main songwriter always for the band, or?
I mean, there was times there, back when Tim was in the band, the bass player, Tim Medeke, he used to write a lot of stuff as well. So we're sort of doing maybe 50-50 at times.
Yeah.
But yeah, sort of from the beginning I kind of was, and then, the other people were putting in their bits and pieces. And then, I've always been very open to having other people contribute as well. Just not turning your nose up on the talent that you do have next to you. You'd be a fool not to utilize, the people. But I think when we became a one guitar band again, for the first time that's ever happened, I was kind of like, you know what? This next album, I'm the sole writer. It's all on me. This one I want to write Overdose.
Yeah.
I'm like, a bit of pressure there. I'm like, well, if this sucks, it's totally fault. But I just managed to put my head down and not worry about what people are going to think and just do what I do. And it came out like it came out. And it's just by default, man. It's just the way it happens. And as I said before, I'm really happy to have as much input from other members because everybody's very talented in their own way. I've just always ramming songs down people's throats, and then
nice.
What about what I want to do? I even said to the bass player Owen, I said, man, I'm really happy for you to have more input if you want to write some stuff. And he said, yeah, I could do that, but I'm just having a really good time playing the songs that you're playing anyway. So just carry on.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
I think it's the thing. Oh, sorry, Hutch.
I don't know. That's the guy just saying everyone does contribute. So Aaron will come with a riff, but Owen doesn't play exactly what Aaron does, and everyone does their job. There's 4 of us, and we all put out.
That's right. The songs become what they are because they get put through the Frankenbok factory. I'll come up with sort of a basic idea and all that, and I've heard early versions of songs that turned out amazing. That you hear the early version and it's pretty how's it going? But then after everybody spends their time on it, Tommy puts his chops on it, and then Owen does his thing. When everybody, this is what I feel very privileged that people entertain the ideas that I've got and take the time to make what my crude idea is something a whole lot better than what I originally came to them with, you know?
Yeah,
After it's Frankenbok machine, it turns out to be a whole lot better than what I originally brought along, you know?
I think that's what I love the most about Frankenbok is the rawness and the realness. And I'm not saying that bands like Parkway Drive aren't raw and real as well. I just feel like
They
the
seem to
fact
more
that you
commercial.
take like something and just go, yep, that could be a song. That's just that is raw and that is real and that's down the line. And I think not enough modern metal bands do that. Like you'd probably agree, but a lot of people in metal take themselves way too seriously. You know,
Yes,
like,
definitely.
you guys don't, and that's what I love about you the most.
Find that they're okay as long as you're wearing the correct uniform and
Yeah,
playing the right amount of kick drums and doing things, you know, to formula. But
I feel ya. So a quick story from me. I've got this recording project where I release singles on Spotify and stuff. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to solidify my musical project Jackal Crow on the Metal Archives. I wanted to submit Jackal Crow to the Metal Archives. And what I quickly learned was that because my project has a bits of new metal in it and bits of deathcore, the metal elitists will not let me have that music on there.
yeah, well, fuck them.
That's right, exactly.
Yeah.
Fuck the metal archives.
Influence on you.
That's going to ruin my career right now.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
We went through. I can't believe how much stuff you've got up with Jackal Crow. You've really been busy.
Oh, thanks, man. I really appreciate that. I have put so much effort into it over the last 7 years.
You see that, and there's stuff that I heard some stuff that actually reminded me of some of my riffs. There was some pinch harmonic stuff going on there. Then I heard some sort of more sort of techno-y kind of heavy stuff that even when you were mixing the Celtic shit in there,
Yeah,
which
man.
is fuck. Which is,
All sorts of stuff. It has world music instruments. It has dubstep breakdowns sometimes. It literally breaks all the freaking rules.
yeah, we sort of went through a bunch of it before, and there's no two things that sounded the same, which is really cool. And I think since Hutch has been back in the band, there's been very much an anything goes kind of thing. Like Frankenbok has gotten away with over the years of, you know, having a death metal song and then having a fucking stoner rock song and having,
Yeah.
you know, and there was a time that I think that we got a little bit more serious and it got a little bit, you know, stuck into the traditional, it must be this or it must be that. But what we're doing now is like, whatever the idea is on the day is what goes.
Yeah, I love it. Right down to the photo shoots, which the fun shows. Like,
Yeah.
I want to be there just to see one of those photo shoots.
What we're going to bang on about something is fucking Thrashville, man.
Yes, let's
Nice.
bang on about Thrashville. I cannot wait. For me, the lineup is spectacular.
The best one, I reckon. And it just coming back to Thrashville, like we played there long time ago and haven't been back since. And you know, I'm a Curry boy, man, and you know that area is very dear to me. But not only that, is the fans have been great to us. We always, you know, as soon as we've done something, it's like, well, let's go to organise something down in Newcastle because shows are always good there. People are always good there. So it's one of our favourite places to play and always will be.
Awesome. And that's the thing too, is for me, this is where I always am. I'm always here. So when you guys come here for stuff like that, and then I say, oh, Frankenbok's on the bill, gotta go out for another mad Frankenbok night. That's how
Yeah.
I look at it, man.
Last time, I remember I had a real good chat with you, and you know, the penny dropped as how long we've actually been known each other for. Was at the Punk versus Metal show.
Metal Fest, yeah, at the Hemo, yep.
Yeah, that was wicked.
And that was right before I started doing this. But the reason I'm doing this is because I've got me Jackal Crow right, but it's a very underground project. It's not something that's moving lots of heads or anything yet. But then Simmo Metal, that's my music. That's where I get to do music and express myself. But with Simmo Metal, I wanted a voice in the community because I've got such a personality that I'll just walk up to you bands and just start talking to you. Like I was at Knotfest, Matty Young's walking across the field. I just walked up to him. I think at one point he was even like, fuck, who's this huge guy? And I'm just like, bro, my band opened for you once. And I've got a YouTube channel. I have to talk to you soon. And he's just like, yeah, cool, bro. And then but that's me, you know, and that's why I do Simmo Metal now. I've had a few people say, you should just talk to the band, Simmo.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's natural and easy going, man. You get a better interview when it's easy going.
Yeah, true.
So
Yes. You know what?
that thing's sick. That thing's fucking sick.
Woo, we're back.
All sorts of weird little contraptions in the Frankenbok jam room.
Mate,
Gadgets.
everything you can think of is in here. Even how's this? Fucking time
Oh.
capsule.
Oh, sick.
Yes.
It doesn't look like a time capsule, but yeah.
No, it looks like something else.
I was thinking something else, but that's sick.
That's what
What? That's awesome.
I know what you were thinking. You just reach it. Everything is in this room. Everything.
I love it. So I got to ask, the spray painted Spider-Mans and Batmans, are they in this room?
No, they're in the what they call the man room. There was like too much fun in here. We couldn't fit them in here. Once I kind of rearranged, once Frankenbok fully took over and it became like a full rehearsal recording space. Lots of the toys have made their way inside to what my wife refers to as the man room.
The man room. I love it.
That's where it's got all that man collections and action figures and yeah, you name it, remote control everything's and all
Everyone's got one. Everyone's got one.
So Thrashville, eh? I can't wait, and I bet that one will come up quick for you too. Have you got a lot in between that?
No,
Okay,
we have
just chilling coming up to that one. That's cool.
We've got 2 shows in June, so we're heading back to Adelaide on June 14th for Blood Sacrifice 2, and then 2 weeks after that, so the 28th is Thrashville, so New South Wales. We're playing Necrosonic up in Brisbane, and then we're playing another show in Lismore called Festival 4, and we're also got another show in Melbourne with Ghost Smoker and Wallet Inspector at the Tote. So there's a whole bunch of shows. So if you go to frankenbok.net, all the pre-sales are
Yeah,
there.
I'll check it all out. I'll even share all of that in the links for you too, because when I do these videos, I take great care to share all of the bands that I'm talking about information in my descriptions, all the links that can get everyone, because for some people, for example, it might be their first experience with Frankenbok. Oh, I've seen that Simmo interview, and then that led me down the rabbit hole, you know. So I try to attach all the links. So I'll pull all of that up there for everyone. Actually, thanks for telling us that, Hutch.
I'm stoked to be playing with Meridium. How do you say it?
Maruthan. And
yeah.
I am so proud to say that they are from my local area. So
The cult band.
mate, and what I do with Jackal Crow, oh, I idolize them. They're gods to me. I freaking worship the cult.
We first played with them. I was like, oh, really? Another mask band? Okay. And then when they turned up with their masks, I'm like, these guys look more like witch doctors, man. They're sick. It's
And
great.
you know what? They leave a vibe too. So, for example, a few shows I've seen them at, what happens is weird little rituals happen. Like little dolls get left around the place with heads missing. And then another gig I went to, they go around and they actually hand everyone the sermon of death. And you've got to open up the sermon, and then it's got all of the track list inside of it.
I love it. Az is laughing.
So they put a lot of effort into it.
They do, man. I was standing, I don't know, backstage or in a hallway or something, you know, right before they went on, and all of a sudden I look around, I'm like surrounded by all these dudes, and I've been surrounded by a lot of black metal people and these and guys, you know, trying to they just look like they've fucking broken into their mum's makeup, you know. But when I was standing with these guys, I'm like, you guys actually look really fucking scary, man.
Yeah.
They're and you know, Cam as well, Camilla.
Yeah, yep.
She does a great job. She's said that, you know, when she organized that punk versus metal show and all that, was she's very professional at what she does, and I know she's had a bit to do with the Thrashville stuff. So
Yep.
awesome, in good company.
Yep, all good company and all here in the Hunter, and that's what Simmo Metal and the Simmo and Kyle show is trying to do, is really have something. All the Americans have their Nick Nocturnals and their Brian Storms and all of that stuff, but the Hunter does. There is another guy. I actually just interviewed him the other week. He's called Jai Mungie. He's amazing. He gets to talk to like Fear Factory and Soulfly and stuff like that. But for me, it's all about creating metal and metal coverage in the Hunter in Newcastle.
Not a lot of people that do it around here too.
One or two some Bonomo shows in your day.
Yes, I saw you guys back at the
Yeah.
junkyard.
Yes, Zombonomo,
Zombonomo,
Corby's
Michelin.
band, and
Yeah, man.
Michelin.
Yeah, one of the first ones I ever went to at the junkyard.
Yeah, they were a hell of a live band, huh?
Oh man,
Got a
Definitely.
few Zombonomo EPs still sitting there in my drawer, actually.
I do have that sitting in mine.
Yeah, so there's I'm sure there'll be one or two of those members creeping around at Thrashville.
Ah,
Nice,
interesting.
Nice.
Yeah, we just had Tony Reese and Corby down here for our one of our last gigs. It was my 50th, actually, my 50th birthday. They came down and caused some mayhem in Melbourne.
Yeah, nice.
God love Tony Reese, the man himself. I love everything he does, especially his guitar playing. That guy can shred.
Yeah, he's not half bad, is he?
Yeah,
He's pretty good.
he's all right,
He's really
man.
good.
Good old Tony.
Do both of you guys, Hutch and Az, do you have a particular song that you like out of the Frankenbok catalogue that you just love each to play, or that you love doing over the years, one that you wrote that you thought this is one of the best I've ever written, or anything like that? Or you
I like I Woke. That's probably my favorite.
Oh,
That was
yes.
sick.
Hell
You
yeah,
said about that
man.
one.
That's actually one of my favorites off the new EP. I love it.
Yep.
Love it.
Sick song.
Yeah, I don't know. Everything on the EP is very fun to play. I don't get really sick of songs, so you know, I still enjoy. I mean, we're still busting out Greetings and Salutations and playing it like we wrote it yesterday. And, you know,
nice.
and you know, we
I'm okay with it.
Simmo.
and that's something we've been talking a lot about. You know, dusting off some of the really old songs, but it's kind of hard when as much time as we get together. Do we want to like focus on writing new songs that we're all excited about, or working on, you know, dusting the old songs and getting them going? Sort of, it's hard to do everything, but I'm okay with it. It's one that we've talked about. All that stuff. Would love to be able to do all again.
Yeah, nice.
So I like them all.
Hell yeah, I do too. So, can I get ya just to tilt a little bit for me, the camera, as so I can get you fully in shot? Cause then it makes for mad thumbnails later. Yeah, legend. Cheers, bro. Yeah, legend. There we go. I've got you both perfectly in shot now. That's my thumbnail right there.
But if I go like this,
No, then it's not a thumbnail. The AI can't cut you out of the picture. No, I love it. Thanks heaps. So I've got to say, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, I was actually on the way to go pick Kyle up to bring him here to the podcast for the afternoon. And I was listening to Blood Oath, and I literally had to put my hand over my mouth for a moment, and I nearly started fucking crying because this was the moment. This is the moment where I get to go from the 15-year-old kid that's seen you guys open for Slayer and Machine Head, and now I'm not only on a call with yous, but I also consider yous good friends. And thank you so much for this. But also, let's talk more metal.
And we appreciate anyone even giving a fuck too, man. You know, like people say, "Oh, do you mind signing this?" Or, you know, "Oh, thanks for getting a photo." And it's like, you know what? You know how often people don't give a fuck. You know, we're you know, you've seen like the old days when the fans used to chase the Beatles down the street.
Yeah.
It's kind of like role reversal. Anyone likes that, chasing them down the street, say, can we? Do you want to get a photo with us, or can we sign something?
You're chasing the fans.
Come on, like have a photo with me. I'd be like that with Jackal Crow. If I was in the mask and the get up, right, I'd be like chasing people saying, you need to get a photo with this, like right now. And I want to say that too. I'm absolutely actually blown away, like literally blown away that you guys took the time to check out some of my music that I've worked so hard to put online and to make available to the world. Because what it was for me was originally it was a dream that started when a band at the time was basically I was jamming with, and they came around to my house and they're just sort of like, Simmo, look, you're out of the band. And I said to myself, okay, well, I'm going to make a band, but it's going to be me because I can play every instrument myself, and it's going to be better than your band. And now, 7 years later, I am going to go on record and say, even if that band hears this, because they're still around too, my band is better than your band, and it's not even a band.
And I'll confirm that as well.
Can I just say something? My very first band I was in, I got kicked out of because my voice wasn't heavy enough. It's like, oh, you can't sing fucking Master Puppets, mate, and all that sort of shit. So that kind of heartbreak gives you that fucking venom in your veins to go a bit harder. And I locked myself in my room for a year, fucking singing into a Milo shaking cup, practicing to Napalm Death and Pantera damaged. And I was like, well, I'll fucking show you. And these cunts aren't even around anymore. So you know.
You've went heavier than Metallica and went straight to Napalm Death. Fuck yeah.
I used to try and sing clean a lot, and my lyrics were a lot different back then, and you know, but it wasn't appreciated. But yeah, you know, everything happens for a reason, and I'm so glad it did happen. You know, so yeah. So I can that what you just said then just resonated with me. That's all I want to say. So
yeah, cheers, Hutch. Because yeah, it is. It's one of those things where you just end up getting the fire in your veins. And what for me the journey was okay. I don't have a band, but what I can do is jam with myself on the door, and I'll layer up my music. But I need to go and do sound production. So I went and did a TAFE course, and I skilled up and I leveled up, and now I'm at a point where I've got 3 EPs, a couple of singles, and an album that's on the way. And it's very underground, but my only goal with it is this is even if it never becomes a live band, I just want for it to be a thing that gets remembered as a part of history of metal. Just like you guys, like if I type in Frankenbok to Google, like a Wikipedia and everything will come up of you guys. You've got to leave your mark. And so that's what I'm trying to do with Jackal Crow, is just leave a mark. So thanks for checking that out, guys. I really appreciate that.
well, send it through to us. Email at info.frankenbok@gmail.com because now that, as you said, like I am sort of taking over the social media side of things, and one thing I want to do is obviously give back to a scene that's given to us so many over the years. And one thing I like to do, even just on my own personal page, is if I dig something, is to share it to spread awareness, because that's one thing about this country. There's so many great bands out there, and people, you know, just recording projects and stuff. Like one of my best mates, McKinley Manning, he's actually the son of Phil Manning, a pretty famous guitarist and blues singer from back in the day.
Name.
Yeah, he writes some of the best metal I've ever heard, and it's some of the best metal you'll never hear because he's one of these George Lucas over perfectionist types. But I've tried to encourage him to get out and do something and put stuff out. tried to do things with him. I'm not putting him down by any means, but he's just one of those people. It just, you know, but my point is there's so much great music out there that
Yeah.
people need to hear, you know.
No, I'll share you a whole heap of stuff. I've even got a comic book that's in the middle of happening that helps tell the story of it and everything, because it's went from being a project to a thing that freaking has a mythology and a lore.
Alpha Ninja did something similar, and there's a band called Anna that we played with on Azza's 50th, and they're doing comic books as well. So it's really great the level of creativity and initiative out there that a lot of bands are taking now. And at the end of the day, if you've got the idea and the money, then execute it. Because
thank fuck we didn't do action figures.
Oh, dude, the action figures.
Nice.
Action figures for so long because I'm, you know, fucking nuts about Action Man and action figures and Star Wars figures and all that. And leading up to doing the last EP, we were dead set. We've even got them. Like we did a few prototype shots where we were all going to do ourselves in full action figures, and then, well, you saw what happened on Facebook when it's still happening. I was like so glad that we didn't do that because just everyone's doing it now, you know.
Yeah, so that would have just looked like part of the trend. Oh, sorry, I lost you then, Hutch.
I was going to say we're going to release a series of dildos called Frankenbok.
Yes!
Frankencock.
Oh, I'm
Nice.
glad I hit you up for what you said then, otherwise I would have missed it.
That is so good.
Frankencocks. Oh,
That could only be a porn band.
we love it.
About sharing other people's music, man, I actually don't understand sometimes. With Facebook and with things these days, it costs you nothing to like something or to share something, and it's like it seems like some people are afraid if they share other people's stuff, they're going to take something away from their own stuff. And I know that Hutch and myself really go out of our way if I see something that I think is good, or even if it's not exactly what I'm into, if I can see that there's someone's put some effort into it, it costs me nothing to share that, and somebody else might come across that, you know. And there's, you know, I've come across a lot of great things like that, you know, by just sharing other people's shit. And you know, what I'm saying is, it takes no time, and it's easy and it's free, and more people should share other people's shit, man.
Hell
like
yeah.
The fuck thing about this country is we are a country of fucking tall poppy syndrome, and people do get jealous and stuff. And I mean, I don't know, like I am a fan of Parkway Drive, and I really respect their journey and stuff. You know, they've worked really hard for what they've got. But you know, I hear a lot of people slagging them off too, and it's again, it's these smaller bands that aren't really doing anything. And I had that space in my time where I used to bag out stuff, and it was just, if anything, just trying to be funny and whatnot. But respect to anyone that fucking gets off their ass and does something and puts something out there. It's pretty gutsy. And, you know, it's the same. It goes into movies as well. You know, like I'm a big Star Wars fan, and people are always slagging that off. But I've always said, well, where's your great space opera? Like, what have you done? Like, and it's always aren't doing anything that take the most pleasure in cutting other people down. And look, just to back up what I just said, yeah, it takes 2 seconds to hit a share button, write a couple of sentences just saying, hey, check out my mate sing, or I saw this band and they're really good. I mean, yeah, it's a real shame. It's the reason a lot of bands don't make it in this country is because they don't get that support.
Yeah, no one hits that share button.
While we are putting shit on Australia, it is a bit that way. Like, there's a bit of an attitude in Australia. You know, your mate starts to do good, and you don't say, good on you, man, we'll support you. You say, I fucking think you're good now, don't you, man? Fucking, you know, as soon as someone gets some success or they start to do well, people say, oh, you fucking think you're unreal. Whereas we played over in New Zealand a lot of times, and there's a completely different attitude over there. With the Kiwis, with people from New Zealand, the way they support their own, and if their band starts to do well or whatever, if they don't do well, they get behind them.
Yeah.
And once they do, even if they're not totally into what they're doing, they're like, they're our, we're going to show up and support our boys. And they're just, it's so different, you know. They will just get
down.
No, and they just get on them, and they're so incredibly loyal. As I said, like, they might not be 100% into the music, but they're our boys, they're our brother, they're our people, so we're going to support them. And really good to see. It's very, very different to you, you know. I'm not saying that we're all like that, but it's very noticeable when you go to other countries that, you know,
Yeah.
people,
Yeah, the other thing,
even when you just
such
get
a-
put on bills with other bands, it's like you can notice it there too.
music's such a subjective thing too. So at the end of the day, as a band, you can't expect people just to turn up and fill up a room for you. Like you have to do the work, like good songs. You have to put on a great performance that makes people want to come back. And you know, if your band can create that, where you create an atmosphere where people are turning up and it's a place to be, then that's the other thing that comes into it as well. If you go see these bands and they get drunk and then the singer just is a total cunt and wait, that's our band. Yeah, that
It's fine. We can say that. We're further into the video now.
That's awesome.
We're way past 20 minutes.
we don't get drunk. We're just a couple.
yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, what
No,
I'm saying is, if you're not a musician and you just listen to music for songs, there are a lot of self-indulgent bands out there, and they're just not writing for people. They're writing for themselves and maybe other musicians, and it's.
yeah, I feel you on that one, actually. A quick shout out to a New Zealand metal band, actually. I don't know if you have ever heard of them. They're called Dark Divinity. And
Yeah, that's what my first band was called. We were called Dark Divinities.
oh, really? Well, there you go. And now there's a band in New Zealand called that.
They
That's-
moved to New Zealand to
They're
get away.
still going.
No, they're great. They actually sent me some CDs in the mail.
No, I haven't heard them, and sort of got my ear to the ground with a lot of New
I'll
Zealand
share
bands.
them to you. I will share them to you. They're fantastic. They're like blackened death metal, so it's a bit like black metal meets death metal. But
Yep.
what's really cool about them, they do their own amazing promotion through this video game where it's like an 8-bit dungeon crawler, and you got to collect the crystals which give you parts of the songs, and then at the end you can listen to a secret track that's only been able to be heard through the game. So good on them for marketing that way.
That is so smart.
Sounds like a lot of work.
That's very, very smart, man.
Yeah, it's very cool.
It
While we're
does
banging
sound like a lot of work.
a bit closer, there's mates of mine down this way. There's a band called Scarnon. I don't know how to describe this music, which is a good thing. It's sort of,
Oh, that's cool. I like if you don't know how to describe it. That's wild.
I mean, it's rock and roll, but it takes you to some real heavy places. And as a live band, they're one of the most dynamic, amazing bands I've ever seen. And I think soon to be one of the best bands in Australia, man. They should be headlining all the festivals.
So what was it again? Sargon.
They're called, they're funny actually. The once, we played with them lots of times since then, but the first time I played with them, they're called Scarnon.
Scarnon.
And I thought that sounds like some sort of evil lord, the evil Scarnon.
God on.
And then I got home and I looked at like the cut of their jib and the way that they sort of, present themselves. And then I realized if you say it the way I saw, it's actually like, hey, what's going on, mate? It's going on. What's going on? And I felt like such
Oh my God.
Yana. Yana.
It's what sort of, I wouldn't say bogan, but it's real Aussie, very, it's real rock and roll. It's very engine, petrol fueled, muscle cars and
Even
Harleys
reminds
and all
me
that.
of like conjures up Mad Max for me.
Outback Australia.
You're on the right track, man. And
Yeah.
that's to be one of the biggest bands in Australia, man.
They're like a thrashier, rockier kind of AC/DC and Nirvana. That's my interpretation of them.
Wow. All right. Shout out to Scarnon.
Yeah, check them out, man. Check them out. They're unreal. They know what's going.
They know what's going on. I love it. That's sick.
And the kind of an awesome name that there's like a meaning to it. That's not obviously so overly deep. We had a bunch of mates who were in a band called Durnt, and we're like, what does that mean? It's like, well, it's the name of a riff. It's like that. Durnt, Durnt, Durnt.
I love that. I love that.
That's great.
These days, everything simple and cool is gone. That's why there's bands like Let's call ourselves Filter Cup.
Anal cum.
Yeah.
Yeah, but strapping young lad. You know, you move into a name, it can be dumb as fuck, like Frankenbok, and then, you know, it becomes, you move into it. The strapping young lad sounds completely normal now, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Fuck, strapping young lad, that's a metal band.
Yeah.
But now it's just, yeah, that's,
Oh.
It
Like
makes
Corn,
sense.
like freaking Corn. Like, who would originally have named their band Corn and then ended up being one of the biggest new metal bands in the world? You know, like
Austrian Death Machine.
oh,
great
shit.
font where they write it, I think, is really cool. There's something dark about it, but yeah, it's Corn. And who doesn't like Corn?
I got a band name that I've had written in the back of books for years. Right, it's a grindcore name, but what it's got to be intense because the name wasn't intense enough to start with. So what it is it is anal infection, formerly known as bum disease. And the thing is, bum disease was not heavy enough of a name. So then they were formerly known as bum disease, but now they are anal infection.
You know, something.
what is Concrete Hymen?
What one was that? Sorry?
Concrete Hymen.
Concrete hymen. You'll never get through.
Oh, blood fart.
Blood fart.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
I got-
mate, we could go on all day that long with grindcore names.
I had a project called Unicorn 69er.
Unicorn 69. Ouch.
Yeah. Oh. Might give you bum disease from that one.
Oh, mate. We could go on all day with this sort of stuff. This is what I love about a Frankenbok interview.
Can I just do a shout out as well? If people don't know, our first album was actually 25 years old this year. So today, I don't know when this will go live, when you'll stream it and stuff or whatever, but Greetings Salutations is 25 years old. It came out in February of 2000. So there were two versions of it on CD that people might be aware of. The original version, which came out through Faultline and Shock Records. We did a follow-up version called the Special Edition, which was through Dark Carnival and Roadrunner. And they were both on CD, and now they're discontinued. You can't get them anymore. So today we just wanted to announce that we're actually releasing it on vinyl, so you can get it through our website.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is the thing for me because
Oh,
I lost my copy way back in the 2010s.
I will be getting a vinyl.
And I will be getting a copy of that. Oh my God. Holy
And Fred hasn't heard it. We've got it all day today for free to download from our Bandcamp, so you can download it for free if you're interested. But I might leave it for a few more days so people want to check it out.
mate, I'm going to get on that Bandcamp tonight. You know I will.
The vinyl.
The vinyl. And you know what? It's that Roadrunner Dark Carnival one. That's the one that I had, and that's the one that I lost. So that's amazing.
That's the thing too. Like Overdose is my personal favorite Frankenbok album. Like that's the album that got me back into the band. That made me love them again and think they're awesome. And we released that on proper CD, like a digipack, and on vinyl as well. So that's what we're slowly trying to do. Like yeah, because that's the thing. There's physical media seems to have kind of gone by the way of the dodo. People just stream everything, but I personally, when I get music, I want to hold something and
me
put it
too.
into.
I've got a slight vinyl collection there that I'm building, and I feel ya.
Got a huge one.
So yeah,
I love that. That's the best news ever. Thank you for dropping that right here on the Simmo and Kyle show, Hutch. That's awesome. Now, one thing I will. Oh, sorry, guys.
said, and that's why he's social media guy, because he knows what's going on. He remembers the dates and what's happening and this and that. I'm just like, it's fucking awesome.
I remember things.
That's awesome. That's why you're the guy now, Hutch, because you remember all the shit. That's awesome, though. I love that you dropped that right here.
Don't forget anything.
No, you
Doesn't
don't
check.
forget anything, mate. What we're gonna do in the future, we're gonna make you reoccurring guests. Like we'll have Frankenbok back on, and to tell you what, this place right here that you see in the background, I would love if you're ever in the Hunter,
Have
if
you
you're ever in
guys
Curry,
in person.
mate. I'm just in Rutherford. Come and sit in this back room with me. We'll set up the camera and we'll have a chat here.
I was so close the other day.
He was. So something I will let all the watchers know of Simmo Metal and the Simmo and Kyle show. Azza did give me a call the other week. Now, what it was he was up this way. He was going to go see the ZZ Top show, and I've been a crew, a stagehand crew member. I got the call to go do follow spot for the ZZ Top show. So don't you worry, Azza. I still got to see that show. But Azza gives me a call and he's like, man, I'm in town. And I'm like, well, we can make it happen. But the stars didn't align that week, did they, Az? But it's all good.
But here we are.
Here we are now. And I'll tell you what, in the future, if you're ever in the Hunter and you're doing a show at the Hemo or at the Grand Junk or you're staying close to Rutherford at all, come and meet me at the Simmo Metal Studios. I like to call it the Sonic Lab.
Thrashville is
Yep.
coming up.
Something on the down low coming up, and we can definitely make that happen before the end of the year, man.
Legend. That would be the epicest thing ever. Like right here in the back room, I'll even crack you as a cold beer each. I'll put a full carton in the fridge, mate.
Sounds good.
So I've got to ask you, as a coming up to the end, I'm a bit of a beer man myself. I'm also a little bit of a stoner, but I've got to ask you, what would your beer of choice or your ritual sort of like before you go on stage? Like for me, even with my old band, it used to be just a shot of whiskey before we went on stage.
My favorite beer is probably OP's.
Yep.
You know, other people's.
Other people's beers, I love it. See, I was thinking you were talking about a craft beer then, but
anyone's beer that's sitting there.
I love it.
Hey,
Other people's.
No, not the craft beers, not at all. No, man, and these days, yeah, I'm straight as an arrow, man.
That's good to hear, Azza. That's good to hear, man.
Yeah, like I love it. It's just when I drink oceans. When I smoke fucking bushfires. And these days, you know, I'm the straight and narrow, man, and because of how much I've knocked myself around in the past, being straight's kind of like more of a buzz, you know?
Oh, that's awesome to hear, Az. And you know what? I am pretty much in that same boat, but I'm the kind of fella that'll sort of love to hit a six-pack pretty much every weekend. So
I love it too, man. It just doesn't agree with me anymore. And like, well, you know, something that's probably worth talking about is fucking with music and musos and all that sort of stuff, the old mental health thing, man. Like it fucks with
that.
fucks with my head. If I was to drink an ocean like I used to and wake up with a hangover and feel a bit queasy, that'd be great. But if I have a real big night, for 4 days, I'm feeling like fucking necking myself, and I don't even know why. Like it freaks me out, you know.
Okay, I feel you.
You know, I walk around terrified of nothing for 4 days, you know, and it's just like, is this really worth it, man?
Yeah.
And same with everything. You know, I'm not against it, and I haven't quit by any means.
Like you'll have a cold beer from time to time, but yeah, I get you.
Even at Thrashville, man, like, you know, when the time is right, I'll have a couple too many and all that. But I was well known for like staying up for 3 days and drinking fucking, you know.
Okay, I did not know that about you actually, Azza. I did not know that.
Yeah, and it knocks me around, and tomorrow's too important to me, you know. Like with I enjoy waking up feeling okay, and you know, with kids and stuff like that, you just can't lay around licking wounds all day. So you know, that's just me at the moment.
Yeah, cool.
I'm not against it, and you know, I still even when I am sober, I still love hanging out with people that are fucked up. It's great.
Yeah, it's hilarious, isn't it? I actually do that a couple of times too, because I'm gonna go do these Simmo Metal gigs, these gig vlogs, and sometimes I don't have the lift, so I've got to go to the vlog, do the vlog completely straight. Everyone's wasted, but they're hilarious. They're hilarious.
Yeah, no, I've had my fill, that's for sure, for the time being, anyway.
And what
I'm not
about
in-
you, Hutch? Oh, sorry,
not
I
in-
lost you then.
I'm not into drinking before going on stage.
Yeah.
Watch back videos where I thought I was killing it, and it's just like no. I like a good stout, but then I like completely swing the opposite way, like the really through the drink or something like that too. But yeah, I don't know. I just getting drunk and playing it just doesn't have the same.
Oh
effect for
yeah,
me.
no. I feel you. Even back in the day, when I say I would have a shot of whiskey before going on stage, I'd never actually get drunk to go on stage or anything like that. I'd have a shot of whiskey. I'd just say to my bass player, I'd say, "Come here, business meeting," and he'd be like, "Business meeting," and I'm like, "Business meeting," and then we'd have business meeting, and then we go on stage. You know, yeah, that's what I used to call it, business meeting.
I dare say I will be having a Cooper's Red with Tony Reese at Thrashville.
Mate, I'll have a beer with you too.
You will.
Indeed. So, thank you very much for actually making sure I'm going to be at that one, fellas. So,
My pleasure, man. If I can, I will.
legends.
It's been a pleasure talking to you guys, Az and Hutch. Hope to do it again
Thank you.
anytime soon. I've seen you guys, like admired you guys for years. Now to get to talk to you like Simmo, it's just been an utter pleasure talking to you guys and hearing all the stories and all that sort of stuff. It's been fantastic.
Vice versa, man. We've had a ball.
Thank you for having us on. We really
Somebody cares.
No, we care.
Right.
You got two people that care anyway, I know that. And I do know other people that care as well.
We care so much, boys. We love the Bok. I think the Bok actually holds a special place in the hearts of the hunter. Like, people from the hunter get so freaking excited when they know you guys are coming to town.
I know so many people that actually have been to like Frankenbok shows over the years, like at the Green Junction and all that sort of stuff. When he's played with Zombonimo and Michelin and all those other bands. And they remember those days, the good old days.
Yeah, well, that's against what I was saying before about Aussies really not supporting. The hunter is actually very different like that because there's a lot of people that have been coming for a long time and they're still showing up, like David Lang, and they've been coming. Certain people have been coming from the first time we were there, and they're still coming now. And so I appreciate the loyalty. It's amazing.
Always.
All right.
Always.
So, I will say at this point, we've got about a minute and a half left. This is the part where I get to say, all right, metalheads, thanks for tuning in for that one. That was the interview with Frankenbok. And Frankenbok, thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
And we will definitely see you guys again more in the future. Not to mention, Simmo Metal is going to be at Thrashville, and every big show Simmo Metal goes to, I take the camera and we do shout outs, we do a gig vlog, we film the bands. If you get a chance, go to the channel and check out some of those gig vlogs. They're really great, and you get to see some great bands like Plague Dweller, Maruthan, Whisperhead, even Desolate Symphony. They're all great. Shutterface.
Thank
It's all about sharing local music. All right, guys, we're about to get cut off now. Thank you very much for coming on the Simmo and Kyle show.
Thank you, man. See you in the flesh.
Definitely will very soon. See you in June.
No, you hang up.
All right.
No, you hang up.
Yes.
All right, cool. No, I'll hang up. All right. Love your work, guys. Stay metal.
Hi, I'm Azza.
I'm Hutch.
We are Frankenbok.
We are Frankenbok.
You're watching Simmo Metal
You're watching Simmo Metal
on the Simmo and Kyle show.
on the Simmo and Kyle.